And I'm back in Toronto, or rather trying to get to Toronto with the zombie van. And the time now is 7:55 a.m. and this is QEW, also known to my TomTom as Q, Highway Q. And the traffic is pretty bad, but after New York City, you know, I don't scare easy. I don't care. And as I mentioned in the comment over there, on the way out of the New York City, I just took a longer route, you know, and drove slow and went on I-295 instead of I-678, and then back to 95 and 80 and 380, then I-81 in Pennsylvania through Scranton, and then took I-81 all the way to Syracuse, and then 690 west to I-90 west to Buffalo. And today's Tuesday, so I crossed the border late yesterday night, and to my surprise that Carnet, you know, worked very well. It's a temporary export-import procedure for the customs. It's just that you have to stop on each side of the border, right? But this time it was easy. I stopped on the US side, and the customs building is right there. You don't have to walk like 20 miles like on the way in. And then I crossed the bridge, stopped on the Canadian side, but I had to go in. The guy stamped it, and I got up. I slept at Flying J Travel Center in Fort Erie on QEW, and got up at 6 o'clock, and I was driving at 6:30. And there's a scale near St. Catharines, so I was trying to outsmart everybody, and I drove at 92 kilometers an hour. But when I reached the scale, of course it was open, and there was only like 5 trucks in front of me. You know, normally if you drive slow and people pass you, you know, that ramp is solid, and the lights, they turn off the lights and you just go. But, you know, I rolled through the scale, they stopped me, the red light was on after my last axle came off the platform. The red light came on, and I was waiting to see only 2 possible solutions: either forward or leave or park. And after a couple of seconds, the leave sign lit up, so I left. Oh, and I did switch to T-Mobile. Call me crazy, but I got tired of overpaying for this cheap straight talk, because they don't have the option of adding data. Like when you run out of 3 gigabyte high-speed data, you have to buy the entire thing again, which is $45 US, right? So other providers allow you to increase your data without, you know, adding voice minutes, which I had plenty because it was unlimited. And so T-Mobile offers a prepaid plan with unlimited internet. And when I was walking there checking out the road in the New York York City, the approach to I-495, I saw a T-Mobile, and I went in there. I said, I have my own phone, how do I switch? And the guy says, well, it's easy. So you just pay us, you know, this much, we give you a new SIM card, and then you start buying time every month, and you have unlimited talk, text, and data. Beautiful. And I said, how do I transfer my number? I want to keep my old number. Oh, we can do that. That takes like 2 to 3 hours. Really? Alright. And then 5 hours later, my phone still has that temporary 929, I think, area code number. So I call him, and just as with the straight talk, it's impossible to talk to customer service because they sound like they speak English, but they don't understand English, you know? Like it's like people learn English in a classroom on the moon, you know? They don't know, I'm going to put you on hold for 1 or 10 minutes. I said, sorry, what? 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I'm putting on hold now, please wait. I'm working with my computer. Like, the guy is telling you everything he does 20 times, and then he doesn't understand what you want. And I said, I'm just checking on the status of my, you know, phone transfer, phone number request. And I tried to explain to him, and he says, what's your PIN number? I said, what PIN number? Oh, in order for us to access your account here, we must have your 4-digit PIN number. I said, okay, and I was sitting at the truck stop, of course, so I'm looking at my contract, like the 2-page document the T-Mobile store guy gave me. And this was a corporate store. I don't like dealing with dealers, so I made sure this was a corporate store. These guys are usually, and gals, they know what they're doing. But at the time I was there, there was a cute Spanish couple. You know, there was like a pretty girl with a young kid, and they were buying something. And all these guys, they speak Spanish. They're all bilingual, the store clerks. So he was constantly distracted because that girl was asking him something in Spanish. So this guy never gave me any PIN number because that's what the customer service guy said. Oh, that's the PIN you set up. I said, really? I didn't set up anything. They didn't give me anything in the store, and I look at the contract, there's nothing there. I tried all these numbers, but they all more than 4 digits. And then the guy says, well, I can transfer you to a special department that will reset your PIN. Oh boy, but anyway, so then I left US. Oh, and then it was a wrong number. They said wrong account number, so I had to call Straight Talk to find out my correct account number. So anyway, when I left the US, it still was not working. They gave me a secret code. The guy says, I said, how do I know when it's ported, when my old number is moved? I said, well, just dial #686#, and you'll see your phone number on the screen. If it's your new number, then it means that everything is good. And I said, do I have to turn off the phone and then, you know, restart it? He says, no. Okay. But now I'm in the Fido world in Canada, where I'm using Fido, so I put in the Fido SIM card. And oh, and one more thing, because T-Mobile was unlimited data, so finally I was able to update my software. Like, for a while now, my Samsung Note 3 was telling me that I have a software upgrade, but the size of that upgrade was like 950 megabytes, and I tried to do it at a Wi-Fi, like free Wi-Fi at a coffee shop. You know, no luck. The remaining time was always like 5 hours, 6 hours, you know, how much coffee can you drink, right? But this time, That's the beauty of T-Mobile. I don't care if it works. If the phone does not work in this particular place, I can wait because I'm driving all the time. Somebody can leave me a voicemail, but I really need this. I need more data, and so I switched. I was sitting in the parking lot in Glendale, New York, and I switched off the phone. And there's a Wi-Fi option. Says update the phone over Wi-Fi only. So I cancel that, and it says, "Are you sure?" Because you can incur additional charges when downloading software updates. I said, "I don't care about this. Now I have unlimited data." So I clicked update. Boom. It took about, I don't know, maybe 20-30 minutes. But that update loaded, and now it feels like I have a new phone. Everything changed. I think they changed the Android version. I don't even know which one that is. It's like 5.0. I think before I had 4.5. So anyway, everything changed. The colors of my phone changed, the fonts, now I have to get used to everything again. But it feels cool. It feels like I have a new phone. And in the news, trucking news, is that I already have 2 more loads. Oh, by the way, I had to delete the video where I was showing that van for the first time. Like I caught something that was not supposed to be on video. So I deleted that. But now I have 2 more loads lined up, so I didn't want to say ahead, but right now I don't care. So after I drop this zombie van, I'm gonna pick up some kind of machinery, and then I go to Midwest US, deliver, and then I head back towards Chicago to pick up a Cat wheel loader and bring it back to Toronto. So today is Tuesday, right? So I'll be in Indiana. That's where my next load delivers, probably tomorrow morning, because it's not far. And then probably Thursday morning I'll be in Chicago, load that thing over there, and Friday be back in Canada. Oh, and probably it'll be interesting to see if T-Mobile switch my phone number. If not, I'll have to call Straight Talk again, and but I really need my old number there because I have lots of contacts that know that number. I don't want to alert everybody that, hey, my phone number changed. So those are the news.
After 3 kilometers, keep left.
And my ever faithful TomTom is leading me towards my unloading place in eastern Toronto, where finally this zombie van will leave my trailer. But I will have bad memories about this trip for a very long time. And as I mentioned in the comments there, one more thing I just want to say before I sign off is that when I was leaving New York, the nature started weeping and crying. Uncle Sergei, don't go. The shower was so strong, I had to drive it like 50 miles an hour because you cannot see anything, And people were driving too fast. I saw 2 accidents. One with 2 cars basically spinning. They spinned out and were sitting there, and they were pointing in the wrong direction in the fast lane, in the far left lane. And then again, this was I-80, east, where people were going towards New York City. Why would you want to go to New York City? Crazy. You gotta leave. But anyway, I'm not sure how it's called in English, but I know in Russian it's called aquaplaнирование. Or aqua is water, планирование is gliding. So it's at a certain speed in heavy rain, because your wheels turn. At a certain speed, there's so much water thrown by your tires that they pack under the tires, because water does not compress, right? So, and there's so much pressure there that
After 800 meters, keep left.
That the water actually lifts your car or your pickup truck, and you lose all steering and you lose all brakes. And the only way to get out of that situation is take your foot off the throttle,
Keep left.
gas or accelerator, and that's what happens. When you drive too fast, you lose control of your vehicle. And I saw just one accident happening right there. You know, from the corner of my eye, I saw a smoke all of a sudden, and I turned my head as I'm passing.
Highway Q towards Toronto for 17 kilometers.
And on the other side, the car was just jumping back from the divider, so she hit, or the SUV hit the concrete barrier on the bridge, and there's smoke coming out, and the SUV was spinning, and I caught a glance of the front end, totally destroyed, you know, and everybody started braking. I look in the mirror, there's like red lights, you know, brakes, so I grabbed my CB mic and started, you know, warning people on the other side that, you know, slow down, there's, you know, accident in the left lane, so they're gonna be brake check. So, thanks for watching. I'm SERGEI DRATCHEV in Toronto, Ontario.